JM on the track, JM on the track. In ADP production. Married in with Queen and Chris. Welcome to Married and Shit, Married and Shit. One spot for the spicy, one spot for the sweet. It's Married and Shit. 11 years in and you know that the marriage on fleek. Married and Shit. Like, subscribe, be sure to tap in like every other week. It's Married and Shit. Welcome to the family. Married and Shit. Married and
Hey everybody. Welcome back to Married and Shit. I'm Quinora.
I'm Chris.
For those of you just joining us, welcome. For those of y'all returning, thank you for coming back. Go ahead and pause real quick and like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to the YouTube channels. The links are in the show notes. So go do that right now and then come back. Okay, now that you're back.
All right, look, we're already laughing because this is take 3. I think
yeah.
The first one, what happened with the first take?
The first take, the kids interrupted.
Yeah, we said we weren't going to stop it, but they interrupted once and then interrupted again, and you know
it was just too much interruptions.
We had to,
and I'm not about that editing life.
The second time we started the video and not the audio.
Yeah,
that's my fault.
Okay.
And here we are on number 3. All right, so third time's the charm. So
right.
Here we go.
With random shit.
With the random shit. And it was so funny because we really segued into the random shit, and it was like a perfect... We're
not such a smooth transition.
We're not going to get it that way this time, so let's just get to it. All right. The real is... Little Mustang over here is... she's rough on cars. Yes.
Now, see, in the last take, I disputed that statement. However,
particular vocabulary. But go ahead.
I refuted that statement. However, I am now just going to accept that statement as fact, and I think I'm just a small bit trash on cars. A small bit.
No, there's nothing small about it.
I think just a small bit.
All right, so we're gonna work our way. We're gonna work our way back. All right. So we're gonna start with the current car, the limited edition Ford Explorer.
And it's a nice SUV.
Oh, it's a lovely vehicle. Ford definitely, you know. It's the first model when they changed to like the current body style that you see now, or the newer-ish body style. The first one that was modeled pretty much after the Range Rover. I think that's 2011.
My car.
Very nice vehicle. Everything is decked out and all that stuff in it. But you know, obviously cars age. You know,
yes.
So that car is 10 years old now.
She is.
You know, should still be purring like a kitten, but unfortunately
she's got a few cough balls.
Nah, that kitten is sick as fuck. All right, that is don't be trying to downplay it. Big issue we're having right now is the transmission is, you know, pretty much playing skip to Maloo, you know, between gears. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's usually between like second and third. You know, it gets to second, it's going to third, and it's like and then sometimes they'll be like, okay, I'll go to third. And sometimes it's like, nope, I'm staying at second. So that's become, and you know, luckily we've been, you know, during this pandemic, you know, we've been staying at home. So I mean, her car has just been sitting, you know, in the garage for the most part, and we've only needed one car. But you know, my drives to work are starting to be more frequent, and she's got to get around now. So we've gotten back into the maintenance of things. So we're probably gonna it's probably gonna be a pretty penny, you know.
Well, yeah, you know, my dad said it's gonna be a little. It's gonna be Real shiny, pretty, heavy.
That's
penny.
what made me excited about this. I had almost forgot that you had talked to your dad about it. Her dad is like a certified mechanic. He was a mechanic in the Army for like 30 years. 30 years, you know, he was always a mechanic and stuff like that. So she was talking to him about it, and why don't you tell us what he told you, what his speculation was?
As I was telling my daddy about the transmission issues, because I go to my dad, you know, whenever I have car issues, because I want him to tell me the real. That way, when I go to the dealership, or, you know, hell, I don't really go to the dealership, but whenever I go to the mechanic or whatever, I can at least appear like I know what I'm talking about. So I have some type of expectation. I
mean, that and he's certified. I can guess what's going on, but
like he'll know.
He knows what's going on. So, you know,
yeah. So
ain't no shame in my game. I don't mind asking for help. So
I had asked them. I was like, so Daddy, you know, they said it was the TCM something.
Yes.
And it's transmission, and it's this and the cat and all this other stuff. So, you know, he was like, well, you know, this is probably what they're going to have to do. And so he's giving me all this, you know, stuff that pretty much kind of get me, you know, hip to the game. And then he was like, I bet it's probably, you know, part of the reason. He was like, part of the reason you're probably having these problems is because you don't put gas in your car like you should.
It is the reason. All right, look, let me tell you what.
I didn't even get it. I didn't even finish the sentence.
Before you even get to it, look, so Quinora, for every car she has, one of the most important things she Googles is how far her car can go once the gas light comes on. All right, and with the newer cars, it's a little bit different because, you know, and I think most cars have it now to where there's a menu where you can go to and the car will tell you roughly exactly how many miles you have to zero, and that's pretty much almost always on display with her. And
you know, my dad said that's the worst thing they could have. That's the worst feature they could have put in cars.
Absolute worst shit they could have done.
He said that's the absolute worst thing they could have put in the car.
They say he should never gave you niggas money. But no. So that's pretty much always on display. And you know, if you know we're riding around or something like that and the gas light comes on, I was like, oh, okay, let me go to the gas station. And she was like, nah, it's good because I have 35 miles to empty, and then my car should be able to get another 25 miles after that. And I'm
25 is 13.
Oh, okay, and my thing is like, but why don't you just go to the gas station and go ahead and fill up? Which really, in all honesty, you're supposed to fill your car up prior to that point. Like, if it's gotten to the gas light, you're already like, your car's already like, bruh, you are tripping hard.
Yeah, and that's what my dad was telling me. He was like, I've always told you to fill up on a quarter of a tank, which he has. He has always said that.
At the very least.
He was like, at least a quarter of a tank is when you're supposed to fill up.
I know people that fill up at half.
Nah, I ain't got time for that.
You have nothing but time for that.
I ain't got time for that. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm not filling up as soon as I get to a half tank because I feel like I need to stretch all the gas that I can take. You know, all the gas, it needs to stretch until.
All right, so that you see stretching. All right, what's really happening is all that crud and stuff in the gas.
My daddy told me, he said all you're doing is running your system on the trash that's at the bottom of your gas tank. Yes. And then when I told him that I ran out of gas that one time, he was like, well, yeah, all that trash is all up in your engine.
All up in your engine.
And you know, I be going down to, it should be on 0, and I be having my trip.
Yeah, yeah, and she has a special trip meter. It's like, oh shit, my shit didn't hit 0. Let me reset the trip. Boom, I got 13 miles. And she'll take it to 10 before I surely will. And especially because I have a preference of gas stations, so I can't just go to anybody gas station. I just can't. You can go and throw like $10. Nope.
I can't go to just anybody gas station.
If you go at a quarter tank like you're supposed, like your daddy told you to. We live within like 3 miles of 2 QTs.
And I understand
that's
that.
Quick Trip for those of you that don't know what QT is.
The thing is, I just don't be wanting to do it. It's a chore. And I just be like, I'll do it tomorrow. I put it off to the last minute every single time. And then I have no choice but to go. So it's like, okay. But to go ahead of time? I mean, I told him I'd try.
Not putting gas in your car is like not feeding the kids.
No. Total difference.
I don't feel like feeding them.
Total difference.
They can get their food tomorrow. they get their
Total
food
difference.
tomorrow. They can get their food tomorrow.
But I did say I would try.
Okay, let's take a few more minutes. All right, I'm gonna fast track a little bit. All right, we're gonna go back a little bit further. Okay, so the last car she had before that was the Flex.
I loved my Flex.
I have no complaints about that. She didn't have the car long enough, and that wasn't her fault. She didn't have the car long enough to take a metaphorical shit on it.
First of all, no lies.
Car before that, yeah, the lady turned out in front of her and
she totaled my car.
Yeah, basically that's just how that happened. The car before that was a 2001 Mercury Mountaineer. All right, look, now let me tell y'all this. All right, when she bought this car, no.
Okay, go ahead, tell it.
All right, look. One, I wasn't present when she bought this car. We were transitioning from Hawaii, my favorite duty station, back to Georgia. So we were making that transition, and basically we were trying to capitalize on my pay because we get a stupid amount of money for housing for being stationed in Hawaii. So what we decided to do, we decided we were going to have her and the kids move ahead of time, and we were going to collect a whole month of Hawaii BAH while she was in Georgia, pretty much staying with my parents, with my folks.
And I was just going to get me a little cash car, a little hoopty, point A to point B.
Emphasis on hoopty.
Type car,
like somebody
because
just
I didn't know if I was gonna have a job.
It's like somebody just found a car on the interstate, jumped it off, and sold it to her.
That was not the car.
Look, so she bought this Mercury Mountaineer. She was like, "Oh, I got a car, and it was only $1,100, and blah blah blah." And I went and test drove it, and everything was good. And I'm just like, okay. In my head, I'm just like, something's wrong with this car. I know something's wrong with this car. So she picks me up. I get a month later, she picks me up from the airport. Like I said, I flew in a month later, and the first thing I noticed, I haven't even seen her, but when I saw the car, I knew it. I was like, that's her. As soon as I saw the car. Reason being, I'm coming out Hartsfield Jackson, and I'm looking, and I'm just like, I see a car, and the whole frame of the car is completely rusted, and I'm just like, you can't see the
frame from outside the car.
You can. All right. I'm coming from the back of the car, so basically what I'm looking at like the towing system, the tow hitch. Tow hitch is completely rusted, which lets me know that okay, everything else is probably rusted. Whoever sold her this car is probably somebody that lived up north, and they let that car sit outside in a snowstorm. That's immediately, so I look at the car and I'm just like, hey, why is everything rusted? And she's just like, well, it's too late. She bought the car. All right. I got there in March?
Yeah, you came in March. Yeah,
all right, so it's a strange transition into the summer because Georgia don't really have a spring. Spring is like from 8 a.m. to 10:15 in the morning, so it's March or whatever. So it's still a chillier Georgia. So fast forward to the summer months, and it's time or fast forward to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, wherever you want to be. But we get to a day where it's hot as hell, and I'm just like, bruh, it is crispy. And I only from here on out, I only buy cars with leather interior because we got kids and shit like that, and I don't want to be shampooing seats every week or whatever. So we get there, we get to the point where it's unbearably hot and you can't ride around with the windows down and stuff like that. So we go to turn on the AC, and I realize AC been on for 15 minutes and I'm still kind of roasting. And I'm just like, yo, what the hell is going on? I'm checking the system, it's all on AC and everything. And Lo and behold, find out the AC doesn't work. And I'm just like, bruh, did you not check the AC?
I did check the AC.
And she was like, yeah, that's the first thing I checked when I got in the car. And I was like, Quinora, you bought this car in February. You don't check the AC first. You check the heat first. And then make sure it transitions over to AC. So basically, you know.
Yeah, I ain't had no AC in that car.
And she had this car for like, what, 2 years?
No, I think it was like a year and a half.
Year some change. I know you were pregnant with Kristen when we finally, when I had to force you to get the Flex.
You did
I had to force you to buy a car from an actual legit dealership. A Ford dealership.
Yeah.
Car before that, she bought another cash car, and that car had like a...
It had ants? No,
it had like a nest of like water bugs or something.
Yeah.
And them shits would just be like randomly, you just be in the car chilling, and you look down and this water bug, like your arms, you just, we in Hawaii, you don't use a lot of AC in Hawaii because, there's always a trade wind. And you just sitting there with your arm out the window, sitting there driving and everything, and you'll look over and that motherfucker sitting on your arm like, hey, this
okay, first
nice,
of all, the bugs were not that bad. They were not that bad. That is exaggeration station. I tried to bomb the car. I went and got it multiple times. I went and got it detailed. No matter, these bugs would not go away. And I was just like, what the fuck? How do you keep buying these cars? The car before that was the Santa Fe. Yeah, that got totaled.
Yeah, it got totaled within 30 days of us paying it off. I was
so mad. Just paid that bitch off.
And then the car before that really wasn't a car that you got. That was
the stick
car
shift
that was acquired for you. So I won't put that one on you. But even then, you had your little kinks with the car. You wouldn't take it to the shop to get it fixed. Like, nah, man, just beat on the dash a couple times and kick the steering wheel while holding it
My
to the
cars
left.
have character. They have character.
Trash. The cars are trash.
They have character. Yeah, it was a stick shift where the key would get stuck.
But see, you can imagine you have to take it. And for the longest, the key would not come out of the ignition. I was like,
no, it was the door. It wasn't the ignition because it had two sets of keys. You had the key for the door. Key? Yeah, you had the key for the door. I thought it was the ignition because I was always
because remember, it was the door.
Because remember, Deanna came by and she was like, "Your key was in your door," and we were looking at her like,
"How did you get the key out?" Deanna, that's our the kids, their godmother's daughter. Basically, they came over to the house we were at her house. Oh, we were at her house or whatever, and I guess she went out to the car to get something, out to her mama's car to get something, and she noticed that the key was in the door, and she came, like, this key was stuck in the door.
For weeks.
Was it just weeks? I feel like it was months.
It could have been months.
It was a long time.
It was a long ass time.
It got to the point where no matter what, wherever we went, we had to make sure we got everything out of the car because
or else it was somebody could just open that bitch up.
Somebody could open it up and take it, or we was like somebody might open the car off, hotwire that bitch and drive off. We got to make sure we're not losing anything more than just the car.
They really could because the key was stuck. It didn't matter if you pulled at it gently, if you was trying to force at it. The key was just stuck in the door. I'm surprised a lot of people didn't come up to me about the key. Honestly.
They probably tried to steal that bitch. Was like, you know what? Look, this car. When I looked at that car, I saw struggle. Folks was probably like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this.
But listen, my car went everywhere with me.
But it's like if you're going through a bad neighborhood and somebody had the audacity to like leave the keys in the car, like in the ignition and all that stuff, like. It was probably somebody you didn't want to fuck with. It was like, you know what? I don't have time for that. Like, I'm not trying to be somebody's body count. I'm not trying to add to somebody's body count. So I'm gonna just leave it alone. So that's probably what they thought.
Yeah.
Whatever. Luckily, she hit the king of potholes one day and completely fucked up one of the wheels, and we were forced to get the Santa Fe.
Yeah. But that car was. I really did like that car. It was a 1990.
It also didn't have AC.
It did too have AC.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
We used to sweat.
It did have AC
in that car. No, because remember when we had to take road trips, even though your car was more fuel efficient, we would always opt because I think I was driving the Cadillac then. I had the sedan.
You couldn't drive my car.
I could drive your car. I could drive a stick. I can drive your car. I don't know. I could drive anybody else's stick shift car. There are people on campus that had stick shifts. I could drive anybody else's. Her car? Mm-mm. Her car was like, he who does not own me shall not driveth me. That's pretty much what it was like.
I mean, my car knew. She knew when someone other than me was at the wheel. Because when your daddy tried to drive us home, when you tried to drive it, my car be like, nope, nah, bitch.
I think the only 2 people have driven that car, and that was you and your dad. Nobody else. I think he tried, like Dwayne tried to drive it.
Yeah.
And shit didn't work out.
Nope, my car just knew me.
I guess, look, this is not what we were originally supposed to talk about on random shit. I had a nice little topic pulled up, but I'm just going ahead and sit that one to the side, and we'll talk about it some other time. I don't think she liked it anyway. So here we are, 20 minutes in.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm about to say we may as well just finish. Well, I guess random shit's over. Ain't nothing else to really talk about.
We'll save it for next time if it even reaches the surface.
I don't think. Yeah,
she didn't like it.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The little the post that I showed you.
Oh yeah.
I knew you didn't like it. I knew you didn't like it. When I told her about it, she was like, "Okay."
I didn't. Nope.
And then when I said something, she was like, "What?" I said, "Okay."
Nope.
Nope. We're not going to talk about that.
No. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean it has to be my way. This is our show.
Yeah, and then I end up with Desert Dick.
What? Wait, what?
Then I end up with Happy Wife, Happy Life.
What is
Happy Wife, Happy Life. All right, so.
Wait a minute, no, nigga, no.
What?
What? You end up with what?
Desert Dick. No, what was that on?
I've never heard you say that before.
Remember, it was a line from it wasn't the wood. It was.
I've never heard that before.
No, it wasn't the wood. What movie was it?
I haven't seen black movies, so I don't know why you asking me.
It's a current black movie. It's one of the Morris Chestnut Gabrielle Union specials.
Oh, okay, I've seen those.
It was what was the movie where it was
Delivers from Eva?
Nah, it wasn't. That wasn't Morris Chestnut. That was LL Cool J.
I know that was LL Cool J, but you also said Gabrielle Union.
But
so
I said Morris Chestnut Gabrielle Union specials. They were like 17
I didn't
movies
think
together.
that they have not been in that many movies together.
It's probably like 3.
Probably.
But, damn, what was the
I don't know, but I've never heard that phrase before.
Shit, I'm gonna have to look up the damn movie now.
Don't look it up.
I'm looking it up right now. I can't. Once I get something, you know.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna be any help. You know, I haven't seen black movies. Even
You've
though that's
seen
something
this
that
one.
even though that's something that we should definitely change while we're in quarantine right now. Why don't you just use your Google machine. Google machine.
Yes, I'm using my Google machine right now.
Okay, well while you do that.
Yeah, you do that now.
To the topic that we were gonna talk about today, even though we're 20 minutes in. Is I don't even know if you want to say realization, but our just acknowledgement and acceptance that our kids are bougie AF.
Yeah, they are. Our kids are bougie as fuck.
Like, for real.
I still can't find this movie.
See, maybe it's not meant for you to find. But no, our kids are bougie AF. And part of me ain't even mad about it. Like, really, I'm not.
The brothers.
The who?
The brothers. It was Morris Chestnut, Bill Bellamy, D.L. Hughley, and freaking. Damn, what's my fucking name? Oh, Shamar Moore.
Never saw it.
You definitely seen that movie.
Definitely did not see it.
Nah, see, this ain't one of them. This ain't one of those. The Color Purple. I didn't see Color Purple till I was 20 years old type films. This was a millennial type, millennial black people. You've seen the brothers.
I have
gonna
not
look
seen
at
it.
Well, so they had this scene, right? There's this thing that they used to always do, where these dudes they were friends for all these years or whatever, and they used to always get together and play basketball, and that's when they would kind of like vent to each other little issues that they're having. Mm-hmm. And D.L. Hughley's character, he's having this spat with his wife, who is played by. Shit, I'm bad with actors and actresses' names. I cannot remember because she doesn't show up as a main character. That is weird. Okay, so the issue he's having with his wife is he wants like oral, and his wife is basically like, I'm not sucking your dick. Tell your mama to do that. You know, basically, and that's it's not the only issue that they have, but you know, that's the big issue that he complains to the fellas about or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so Shamar Moore's character, he's like the single. No, Bill Bellamy's character is like the single playboy type character or whatever. And somebody said something pissed off D.L. Hughley's character, and one of them was like, "What? Don't get mad at me. It's not my fault that you got desert dick."
No.
See, what you're not gonna do?
See what I'm not gonna do?
Get to the episode. Get to the episode. But see, you laughed so hard when you said it. When I said it, I guess I don't know because it took so long.
Yeah, it took all of 5 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes ain't bad, you know. Take less than 5 minutes to fill up your gas tank.
You tried it. You tried it.
Hashtag thirsty car. Car be thirsty as fuck. But yeah, so like we said, back to the subject at hand. Look, we probably done lost half our listeners by now.
No, I was about to be like, listen, this is about to be the episode, and it's a short episode, and y'all come see us next week for us to talk about our kids' Bougie AF.
No, let's not do that.
We're 26 minutes in, bro.
I'll be alright. It's COVID-19. They got shit to do. It's pandemic life. We here. So, the bouginess of our kids.
Yes. That they partly get from you, because you bougie too.
I am. Look, here's the thing.
I'm not saying it's a problem to be bougie.
When you grow up.
But see, when I was bougie as a child, it was like, ooh, you bougie.
Well, your family thought you was bougie, so that's a whole different level of bougie. Yeah, you did. You were the one that told me that your cousins on your daddy's side used to pick on you.
Yes.
Well, maybe not pick on you, but used to talk shit because you used to have your nose up in the air.
I didn't have my nose up in the air.
To avoid the stank that was down at their level, I guess, just walk around.
No, I just don't like being outside. And my dad's side is more of an outside family.
But I'm the bougie. You just called me bougie, but you don't like being outside.
I don't like being outside.
Nigga, we was outside every day.
I will be inside all day, every day. Don't take me outside unless it's to go get in my car.
See, that's your mama's fault. Because my mama got home and was like, look, nobody better be in my house, and that includes the motherfuckers that live there. Y'all need to have y'all asses outside. Do not be in my house. I want my house to be nice and because my mom's like always cold, so she always wanted the house at like 87 degrees or something like that.
She still do.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, no, her house, you know, she be getting upset when we come in town and we don't want to stay at her house. Like, I'd rather stay at my sister's house because, you know, I told my mom, I was like, she uses her HVAC, so my mom's like, whatever. But yeah, so there's another reason why I think, and you called me bougie. I never had the luxury of AC growing up.
Okay, well, I had AC. AC is a normal thing. Bougie. Okay, first of all, let me say, even I have no problem being called bougie. I have come into the realization that I don't even consider myself bougie. I just have standards.
Well, yeah, and I've picked up on some of those standards don't apply to cars, y'all. Her standards for cars is, can I get from point A to point B? I mean, yeah, I may have to open the door and reach my leg out to give it a little bit of a push every now and then, but hey, it makes it.
Right, you be over exaggerating. I've never.
That I do not. I do not.
You do.
Anyway. But yeah, so I will say I've gotten a little bit. Like I said, when you've grown up without the luxury of things that some kids just consider basic, it's just like, yo, yeah, now that I can afford nice things, I like having nice things.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's just
nothing wrong with that. The problem is now our kids have grown up with those nice things and don't know what it's like to be without. Let me tell you something. Our youngest is 4. All right. When I was 4 years old, outside was the place to be. I need to be out there to know what's going on, what's not going on. I need to be out there to determine whether or not nothing's happening out there. And if there's nothing happening, then I'm going to make some shit happen because it's outside. Now, Kristen, she has the first part of that idea. She's like, yo, there are kids out there. Like, I want to go outside. We're in Missouri. You know, I didn't grow up with the luxury of snow. We had snow for 3 hours a year in Georgia. You know, you hurry up and make your little snowman at 8:30 in the morning, and by 8:42, that shit is gone. Right. So, you know, here in Missouri, the snow sticks and it stays for months. And so, but Kristen, you know, she's all about going outside. We're in the summer now, and it's actually a hot summer. Kristen goes outside, and 12 and a half minutes later, she comes back in. She's like, oh, it's hot. I'm coming back inside because I'm sweating. I'm like, wait, it's hot. What?
She come in, she's like, where are my sunglasses?
And she'll come in, Daddy, feel my head. Now, I know what she wants me to do. I feel top of her head. She's no, my forehead. And I'll feel it, and she's like, I'm sweating. And I'm just like, you little spoiled mother. Like, I want to say, get your ass back outside. You know, you get out there and get some sun. Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, it's just the basics. You know, I pretty much, you know, I might as well have had a cot outside as much as my mom was like, get up, get out my house, clean my house, and then get out of it so it can stay clean. That was pretty much the narrative. That's what Saturdays were. I
mean, I was outside until probably like tween age, and I was like, I ain't got time to be outside.
Must be nice.
The most that I was outside was band camp.
This one time at band camp?
That's the most.
Yeah. And there are just other things, you know, like food.
Yeah.
All right. Look, it was nothing, and I don't know, because they got something for me, but they got some. I remember we were in school. I remember because we had moved into, like, I think we were in my apartment or your apartment, because remember our first apartments were separate.
Yeah.
And I made something for dinner. Now, on a college budget, you know, you got to realize lots of dinner nights came out of boxes, so don't judge me. Mm-hmm. And I think I made some hamburger helper or something like that. And I gave her some hamburger helper. She was like, that's it? What about the side? And I'm like, my nigga, hamburger helper is a full meal. Like, what do you mean the side? Now, unless you're talking about some cornbread or something like, but no, she was literally like, we need some green beans, some vegetables. We need something green. I'm like, it says there's a full serving of vegetables.
It did not. It really did not.
Hamburger helper is a full meal. Spaghetti. No. The first time I made spaghetti. That's why I don't
eat hamburger helper now. I've not eaten hamburger helper for at least.
I haven't had it since college. I think it was college.
No, I think we've had it since the 90s.
Well, yeah, we had it after that because the kids loved it, but
we definitely haven't had it in like 6 to 8 years.
It wasn't because hamburger helper is trash. I don't think hamburger helper. I don't know. I haven't had hamburger helper. It's been at least like 10 years. I think.
Yeah, easily.
Maybe 8 or something like that. But yeah, Kenora's been on this thing to where she's like, we are not a box family. We don't cook out of boxes. Like, the only thing we have out of boxes is if we order pizza or something like that. Other than that, she will not cook out of boxes.
The problem with that is I've gotten my kids accustomed to eating out. Because I will not eat out. I will not eat hamburger helper. I will not eat out of a box. I will not eat dinner out of a box. But what I will do is DoorDash some food. What I will do,
on Postmates and Uber Eats.
What I will do is place a
but even
order.
Then we weren't, and this started a lot earlier. Like DoorDash, I didn't know what DoorDash was I don't know when DoorDash started, but
yeah, you were late to the DoorDash game.
I was late to all it because I don't like people delivering. I feel like I don't trust people, and I've seen pictures online of like DoorDash bags sitting inside a toilet stall, and you see.
And yes, I mean, I'm not gonna say that people don't do that shit, but having worked in a restaurant, I know you saw some shit.
Yeah. I guess it was just, I don't know, it was just me. It was just a paranoid thing. But it started early, like even back in the Hawaii days. Like I said, we made so much extra money due to the cost of living out there, and we lived like within 2 miles of what was the name of that place that had the real good chicken sandwiches we like?
Maui Mike's.
Maui Mike's. Good grief. Look, if you ever go to Hawaii and you're on the main island, or like Honolulu, you're on the island.
That's not the main island.
I mean, I guess I meant the main islands where you fly into. Most people fly into.
Just say Oahu. That's the name of the island.
Niggas don't know who Oahu is. I didn't know who. Whatever. All right, so you're flying into. If you're going into Honolulu, if you're on Oahu, there's this place up north called Maui Mike's. It's like a hole in the wall roasted chicken place, and good grief, delicious. But even back in those days, she had a full-time job. Of course, I'm in the military, so obviously I'm working long hours. There will be lots of days, lots of nights where we wouldn't all be in the house until well after 8 o'clock, and it was just like, yo, we ain't cooking out no box, and we're not trying to sit here and spend an hour and a half, cooking, full course meal. So what are we going to do? Maui Mike's. We're going to order pizza. We're going to go to Wendy's. We're going to go to Jack in the Box. So that was a lot of nights. So I just remember like when we were little, asking your mama to buy you some damn McDonald's was like, you might as well fail all your classes in school. This is like, where's your money? I just want a cheeseburger. What did I do? So, and as they've grown, so have their tastes. Like, our oldest is 12 years old, and we go into the grocery store, and she's like, or no, it's Imani. Like, we'll ask them, hey, because we ask for a little bit of input. Hey, kids, what would you like to have for dinner? And Imani's the one that'll ask, like, are we eating out? And I'm just like, how do you have the audacity? Like, I used to have to, like, this was my mindset when I was little, and I felt like I wanted to ask to actually eat out.
And then let me just caveat that real quick. Our version of eating out when we were kids was going to McDonald's. Yeah,
notice that. Yeah, I've only said McDonald's, not even Burger King. Burger King was
maybe a $3 meal back then.
Yeah.
Our kids' version of eating out is some damn Outback.
Yes, we rode by Outback. We had to pick some stuff up from Dick's Sporting Goods, and we rode by, and Imani gonna sleep, be like, "Ooh, Outback. We haven't eaten at Outback in a while," and I knew exactly what that is. And I was like, "Well, it's gonna be a little while longer." So like this is the pressure that I felt when I had to decide whether or not I wanted to take the risk of asking to eat out, asking for some McDonald's. All right, it's the feeling for my baseball players or people that understand baseball. It's like being the batter on a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and it's like, yo, I know the pitcher is going to throw something in the strike zone, or I think the pitcher is going to throw something in the strike zone. Regardless, I don't want to get caught looking, so I'm going to swing at whatever's there. And more often times than none, with my mom, swing and a miss. He goes out crying. And that's just how it was. But our kids, like, and it's our fault.
It is our fault. It's totally our fault.
Our kids are trash, and it's our fault.
I love our trash kids, though.
Yes, because like they be asking for sushi and stuff like that, and I love sushi.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely got that taste.
Yeah, I mean that's where
but,
Anaya. That's what she wanted for her birthday. It was like, what do you want for your birthday?
Yeah, like what happened to Chuck E. Cheese? Like,
nigga.
We can go to Chuck E.
No, we cannot.
Not in the coronavirus era, but
I don't care if it's no corona.
But no, what I'm saying is. Right now you being selfish with the birthdays. The birthdays was supposed to be about, or like, well, not even, because Dave and Buster's is adult type shit. Yeah, they didn't ask to go to Dave and Buster's. I'm like, yo, Dave and Buster's is not your arcade. Is the little shitty ass arcade in the mall, because that's what we had. You're not going to Dave and Buster's for your. I don't go to Dave and Buster's for my birthday. You're not going there for your birthday.
But yeah, but for her birthday, she wanted sushi. She was like, I just want to go to a sushi place. So we went to a sushi place.
And it was we're not talking about like a little hole in the wall, hibachi place that happens to have sushi. We're talking about, like, this is their upscale
thing.
Like sushi. Like they don't, if you go there and order
anything other than sushi.
Yeah, you go there and order soda, they're just like, can't you just order wine like everyone else? It's one of them type places. I'm just like, ugh, fam. And that's where she wanted to go, so we took her there. But yeah, I feel like I can talk about food. Like their taste buds have just been,
And I mean, it's from everything. Like
every now and then we got to beat them back down.
But part of it's you. Well, I'm gonna say part of it. It's both of us. But like you have even made me bougier, if that's even a way, because like we don't eat packaged meat. Like we have to go to the deli. We go, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, like bologna. No,
first of all, I don't eat no bologna.
Well, I'm just saying, but that you're something like bologna. So yeah. I don't
like the pepperoni and the salami.
When I want sandwiches and stuff like that, I don't. So and this was I blame my mom again.
See?
No. This is the only sandwich meat that she would buy was that cheap ass bologna meat that had the red
thing around it,
strip around it.
That's all we had. And my mama would fry up some bologna.
I'm just like, nigga, I am tired of that. And every now and then for a dinner night, mom would be like, oh, we are going to have subs for dinner.
I never had a sub for dinner.
And she would go to Sam's and she would buy a large pack of rolls, and she would actually go to the deli and buy some provolone and some cheddar cheese, and she would get the deli meats and stuff like that. But that was like once a quarter.
Nah, my subs was Baldino's.
That's fancy.
Baldino's.
That's fancy. I've never been to a Baldino's.
Okay, Baldino's is not fancy.
I mean, yeah, there was one in Hepzibah, so it can't be that fancy. All right, so
but I mean, more with food, I just thought about is, our kids, they don't like grocery shopping. Like they feel like grocery pickup is the normal. Like that who goes grocery shopping?
It's like it's the best thing that's happened for us, for people that are always on the go. But I feel like it's the worst thing that's happened to kids. Like you, as a child, I feel like every child needs to have the experience of being knocked the hell out in the store for doing some old dumb shit. Our kids, I mean, when they were young,
yeah,
a little pop on the hand, but they don't remember that.
Yeah,
a trip to the grocery store to them is like, if we go to the grocery store and park in a regular spot, they be like, we're going in? Yes, we're going in. I'm here to get eggs. That's it. And why didn't you just order ahead? And because I didn't. Get your little ass out the car. We're going to walk in. We're going to pick up the damn eggs. Just for the hell of it, we're going to walk down a few more aisles. Yeah. And then we're going to stand in the longest line. And you're going to enjoy it. I was just like, bruh. So, most of our groceries are done through grocery pickup,
because it really does help. Like I don't go in there. It is
convenient to be able to just go through online and we don't have to deal with the, like, I swear I don't know what it is about Walmarts, because it don't happen to me at Target, or it doesn't happen to me at any other place, but for some reason, no matter what, when you go into Walmart, regardless of what you think you're there to get, you're going to spend 3 times the amount of money that you intended to spend.
Well, I do that at Target too, because stuff just calls to me at Target. It's like,
I felt like that was Amazon for you.
Whoa.
Which brings us to our next topic. Whoa. All right.
You have to do me like that.
Grocery shopping was a big.
You ain't have to do me like that.
Another big one. Amazon Prime.
Let me say, the kids do not believe that there is anything in this world that exists that cannot come from Amazon
that you cannot get
and be here in 2 days.
2 day shipping. 2 day shipping at that. And they know that there's an Amazon factory. I mean, not Amazon factory. They know that there's an Amazon warehouse here in Kansas City. So they're just like, oh, and it might even come from the warehouse in Kansas City. So it'll be here in 1 day. And I'm just like, why do you know this? Why do you know this at 10 years old?
Yes. Anything that they want, they'll be like, just get it on Amazon. And I'll be like, baby, not everything.
That's when we give them. That's when we give them that. She's like, we don't feel like going to the store. Oh well, you know, it's on Amazon. By the way, they know this because they also have cell phones.
Yeah.
You know, are they trash or are we trash?
I think. I don't know. Maybe they're trash because they're the byproducts of our trash.
I don't think either one. I don't think either one's trash. But you know, I guess you know one thing that every parent wants is they want for their kids to do better than they did.
Absolutely.
And I think in a lot of cases that translates to I want my kids to have more than I did. But we buy all this shit for our kids and then get salty at them like they made the decision to actually check out and run the money. I'm just like I don't know how to balance between the fact that like check this out. Right now we have more, but we had to downsize for the apartment. But even then, in this 3-bedroom apartment, we have 4 TVs. All right, the main TV is like 60 inches. Then we have a 55 in our room, and each of them two have 40-inch TVs. Look, growing up, there was 2 TVs. There were 2 TVs in the house. One in our parents' room and one in the living room. And I think it was a fight to who finished their homework first. And then we had to hurry up and sneak out the back door when our mom was pulling into the driveway because nobody better be in her damn house when she gets home. You know,
I had a TV. But caveat, I had to share a room with my sister.
I had to share a room with my brother.
Your brother left like 5 years before you did.
Yeah. That is quite true.
Yeah. See, as the oldest, I shared with her all the way till I left. I had to leave.
Well, he shared with me up until he left. So I mean, it's part of being the oldest. All right, look, nobody told you to come out first. I can't come back with that. But yeah, and you know, they got and these are smart TVs at that. So they have access to so much more than what we had. You know, they got their phones. They have a damn.
Stay there. You got something on your face. Okay.
Thank you. They got a damn Wii U.
Yeah, they don't even play.
That they don't even play. You know, we had a Nintendo. Had
to blow in the cartridges to get it to work.
We had a Commodore 64.
I don't know what that is.
There was an Atari.
I had that.
We played. We had to play. What's the game? Oregon Trail on the little.
That was school computers.
Well, nah. But Grandma had like this old ass, and something else that she bought from like a yard sale. Like she had this, and it had these big. The games came on these big ass floppy disks, not the little 3.5 floppy. These discs were like, they were huge. Them shits were like. These discs were probably like the size of damn. I'm trying to find something.
They were huge.
Yeah, they were just big. Like the actual disc itself is like the size of a CD inside of the case, like the whole enclosure. So we you know that's what we had to play out. Don't be rushing me.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to get you to your point. You remember last week? Remember last week? When I said you be going all in the outfield to come home, hey, well, I need you to go home.
That's it's still terrible. But yeah, you know, it's just, but they have so much more. It's like on one side I'm proud of it, on the other side I'm just like, what the fuck are you thinking? You know, but yeah, between that we talked about food, grocery pickup, and Amazon Prime. Now we could go on easily for another hour or two about how our kids have it all so much better than we do, but you know, the look on her face, you know, she's trying to rush me off, you know. So
okay, I'm not gonna say that.
What do you have?
I don't have nothing. I have that it's been 50 minutes.
That's a double negative. You don't have nothing. That means you definitely have something.
Don't be trying to get all educational on me.
Okay. But yeah, so those of our friends, our listeners with kids, you know, we'd love to hear your take, you know.
Yes.
Tell us how, I mean, are your kids bougie, or have you decided, nope, they are going to live the life that I lived when I grew up, and they can be bougie when they have their own money, you know. So let us know, you know, drop your responses in the comments on whatever platform that you're listening to. Send us an email. That also will be in the show notes.
Yes.
Why don't you send our lovely listeners off, my love? Look at that big hair. Love it. El natural.
Yes. Be you, stay true, and don't be afraid to start some shit.
We out.
That'll be cute. Bye.